Yeah, by the way, this is it's supposedly meant to be part one of supposedly like a movie. But I mean, come on, it's not like a full length movie. But you know, the reason being is I think after Mida 1, Mida 2, kind of when I started on it, it was really I don't know. I really didn't have a plan on how to roll this out.
Okay.
Yeah, because Mida 1 was like, yeah, I got like So Beautiful and Blueberries, and you know, had this like rollout with it being singles after singles and then an album.
It's still far.
Which, I mean, logistically that would work way more because a lot of people just want to focus.
Yeah.
They like to focus on one thing. So, you know, it was really difficult because that would have been a more smarter rollout. I'm not gonna lie,
but you just did it your way.
Yeah, because
which is respectable.
Because I just didn't know. I mean, even at the time, what what that would be, like what So Beautiful would be for this one, what No Blueberries would be for this one. I mean, and then once I started getting that whole, it was difficult for me to navigate really, like what,
where to go.
Yeah, how I should really roll this out. It really kind of felt like it was just one body of work. And then, you know, I was talking with Scott about this, and then, you know, Scott really helped clear my head with this, where he was like, yeah, let's just treat it as such.
Right.
And then visually we're just like, okay, like let's do something where it really does play into the story now, because that's originally what I wanted.
Correct.
And just kind of have like you know, I do these things where I like have these concert videos. I even on my Instagram, fans will know, right? Like the Instagram TVs and stuff like that when that started coming out.
Yeah.
So I like doing these like highlight, short burst, like really impactful things, right? Very visually like 자극적. Wait, what's 자극적 in English? Huh? Stimulating. Okay. Thanks, John. By the way, shout out to John. Yeah. So I'm just like a very visually stimulating person, you know.
Like me,
yeah. Like I just like things like that.
That's fine.
Right. And yeah, I'm not saying I'm visually stimulating. I'm saying I like doing that.
Oh, but you are though. You are though. No. Flex on that.
No. Man, and you know when you set yourself up, because you think in your head it's gonna be somewhat easier.
Hell no.
And then and then you end up shooting a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
when he said short film, I was like, damn. Okay.
Yeah. What was really tough about this was, this whole album making process was during the time where I was transitioning from Korea to LA. Right. So it's not a big secret that I'm in LA now.
Wow. That's crazy.
You know, yeah, and so during that transition, it was just chaotic because again, I'm transitioning from somewhere I've been living for about 10 years. But now it's like I have to make an album on top of that, and I couldn't really adjust. I couldn't really sink it in.
Yeah, with like the LA culture, or just like in not just that, but like you're coming from one place.
So yeah, good question. I started making the music. Some of the songs actually I made it like even after the first Mida album. You know,
had a few.
I was already rolling things out. And I've mentioned this before in other interviews, but I've like there's about 30 or 50 songs that like I still have, and the most difficult thing was like which ones we add into this album. So it was like it was just this really hard task of like going back and forth, trying to finish, and then you know it was at one point we're like, okay, it's done, and then we're like, no, and then so I was like, no. And I took it out, and I was like,
what?
And I made a new song.
Okay.
For example, Mood, right? Yeah. How long did it take to make Mood? It was 3 days. So
is that short for you?
But the thing is, it's when I made it. I made Mood like when did I make Mood again? Oh yeah, there's like a deadline where you have to send your masters in.
Okay.
For a physical CD copies,
you
know, to roll out, right? So in order for you to get your masters, obviously you have to send in your permanent album track, and I just kind of felt something was missing, and I think 3 days, 3 days before the permanent seal of the album, I went into my little studio and I made Mood.
Oh, snap.
And I think that was when I was like the most excited about it. And then, and then once I put it out, I guess it was just like, you know how you're always like, oh my god, you regret it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I have a lot of that, you know.
Is that the fastest song you ever made?
No.
Okay, but released.
Yeah. Fastest one that I had to act on.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Avalon was like the fastest. I think I was like that was half a day.
Oh, never mind. Then yeah, that's the Avalon is the fastest. One shot.
Mm-hmm.
Winterfall?
Oh.
Yeah. It changed to that.
Why? Can I ask why?
I don't know. I just like how it was composed, where your voice is placed.
Interesting.
Like,
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I think a long time ago, not even a long time ago, I think when I first got here to LA,
Right.
it's about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we met up and then I let you listen to one song.
Yeah.
Very briefly, I think.
Which I forgot.
I think we were all tipsy and stuff,
Yeah.
but I let you listen to
I'm crazy last night.
Winterfall.
That was Winterfall. That's
That was
right.
Winterfall. But it was the last part.
The last
I let
part.
you listen to, not
I
the
remember.
first. Yeah, so that's very interesting. Maybe
Maybe it triggered.
Yeah,
like,
maybe it's doing something.
Yeah, on stream. Like I just streamed recently,
Mhm.
and I said I was like, yeah, Winterfall is like my thing now. I think. But I think it's going through like seasons or like dates.
You know, yeah, that's kind of what
It's like different colors, obviously.
I think what I realized about my albums is not because I take it from a lot of the people that are listening, because I don't really have too much insight on that.
Right.
But I think before, like while I was making it, a lot of like people around me, like John or
Right.
Scott, or
Right.
you know, like Tarbin or something. They would I would ask him like what their favorite songs is, and it would keep changing. So that was very interesting, like yourself, you know. So
I don't know because
you know,
Ribbon is unique to me. I love the ending of Ribbon.
gets too repetitive.
No. I think the ending saves it.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I like I said, I never heard a just like instrumental. Yeah. Then one shot.
Noise complaints, right?
Yeah, I see you
after.
beginning noise complaints now. Huh?
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's ironic too because I feel like my neighbor's also a producer, so I mean there we go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like my neighbors are content creators, but you never.
No shit, really?
Yeah. So we're all loud.
I mean,
Level's loud.
But do you get complaints?
One time, but that was just for a random incident that wasn't us.
Oh okay.
But it wasn't, so no.
Oh, that's alright.
So we would yell.
I really
Good.
don't know.
Good job, you didn't answer it.
I don't know.
Good.
Okay.
Where did I go wrong with you?
If there's any questions you want to ask.
Yeah. I'm glad I get to hear the voiceover now. That was one thing I really wanted to hear.
A lot of your inspiration, your ideas too.
That one time.
You know, speaking of, I'm sorry, we just like cut straight
No,
away.
this is gonna be that type of video.
Yeah, this the intro part was like the part I was really stuck on. You know, and I think for me, it was what was difficult about this, and I remember I told you too. It
Right.
was I just depending because it's such a important part. You're really jam packing
A lot.
a lot. Yeah.
No, for
like
sure.
The epilogue, the intro, it's always the hardest part. You know, and what do you call it? The prologue. Yeah, it's like always the hardest part, especially in a lot of the movies.
Right.
Too. A lot of directors say that. I get it because it's like you're jam packing or trying to summarize a whole plot going into it. So obviously, like the narration of it, you know, like it's depending on the tone. It's like there's like a whole art to that too.
Right.
You know, like if you look at Lord of the Rings and all that, like it's just
It's the
so-
importance.
It's so good, you know, and I didn't want to come off like too deep and cheesy.
Yeah,
you know?
like
like,
cringy, yeah.
Because there's a very fine line. you
There
know?
is.
Um,
And I remember you were.
I was asking you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you were gonna attack it, but I was like, yeah, well, try this.
Yeah, and you gave me a lot of good ideas where it was like maybe in the perspective of insanity and well, technically, insanity is me, but
Right.
in a very metaphoric
Right.
version.
Very metaphorical.
Yes, and so you know, and then obviously I was like, okay, yeah, and then but then when you left, I was like, oh man, I don't know how to, I don't know how to start the dialogue. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's so important. But then I guess Scott came through, luckily,
Nice.
and he helped me with the whole dialogue aspect of it.
Oh, good.
You know, asked me about what what the whole plot and story is.
Yeah,
Obviously
from a different
explained.
perspective too.
Yeah, so he really came through and helped me with that.
Let's go,
and,
Scott.
And yeah, and this is what you get, I guess. Yeah.
Hey. Let's go.
Like the glitters in my
Still
hair.
love that.
Out of all my creations, you are the epitome of all that is good.
Breathing through
The
all my
utmost of my
creations.
potential.
And it's the title
You are my
track.
first,
Well, which is only my
And I'll make
first
sure to be
album.
the last.
Okay.
So that, when I say you create me, blah, 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 out of all my creations, the epitome of all that is good.
Let's see.
And I'll make sure to be the last.
And yes,
Yeah.
so
Created
as you see, it increases through the
And now it's time to create mine.
ends on minor. What it is, so what it is, when you see that image of that little, when you go to minor and you have like a glimpse of this very angelic,
Right.
guardian looking
Yeah.
figure, that is the seraph actually.
Yeah, the one that's all white with like okay.
And that used to be minor. So that
Oh,
yes,
okay, okay.
So that used to be the rendition of what Mitre used to look like.
Oh.
So here, and I'm sure this is the part where a lot of people do get confused, but what that part actually is it's showing a brief moment into the past
Yeah.
in how Mr. Insanity first originally created Mitre, and that was an image of
So it's his past memories maybe too.
yes.
Yeah.
So as he's kind of
Going through
skimming
all his-
along, it's kind of colliding with Mitre when he's like present thoughts on that. And then we go into the past.
Right.
Mitre, you see him. And I get why this might be all very confusing because it's played just by me.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot more clear. I was like, man, it would have been a lot more easy if I had certain actors to do this.
Right.
But again, it's because it's so personal.
Right, exactly.
But God, would that have been easier? Then I wouldn't have to go through the whole dialogue thing.
It's okay. I'll just get ripped and lose a lot of weight and just.
Oh yeah, maybe you can do my stuff. Oh yeah, that wouldn't be bad at all, my friend. But seriously, I think that moment was that moment where you first get to see what Mitre used to be as like a seraph, and then you see him say, "You were my first." So and keynote. If you ever think about what my very first song for this whole series, not Zombie Pop, because that's like not a song. That's like a song for something else.
Yeah.
But for my whole Mitre series, the first song is Mitre.
Yeah.
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 So my first creation was Mitre.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so
it connects like that.
That
too.
does connect like that, yes. And
That's crazy, actually.
yeah. It's crazy how that worked out. Originally, that character was meant to represent all the good in insanity,
Okay.
Because he wanted to start off strong. Like he wanted to start off with his creation being like
The
something
best.
beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay.
But I guess what he didn't entail was he made his first creation so powerful that it took so much essence out of insanity. And
I
that
see.
essence, and any essence from insanity is something pretty dark if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that is why Mitre eventually got too strong. Because he got jealous of all the other creation. It's a very biblical thing too.
Yeah.
And he started resenting his creator. And this whole part, which you're about to see,
Yes.
is when it just cuts straight into the point where Mitre was like, "I'll make sure to be your last," because you created me in your image, and it's his time to create his in his.
Yeah.
his
His in his image.
His in his.
He's finding out himself.
It's like it's a very biblical line too. And then you go through and then it starts Mitre 2, because Mitre 2 is meant to represent the transitional point. You have the black, and then the red and the white, which eventually, that's gonna come out later. The album, so we have the black that's already come out. So if you think about when an angel defects, no, what do you say? When an
Descends?
angel descends, not defects, okay.
You're good.
When an angel descends, I like to think it goes from pure to the red to the dark.
I see.
Red meaning it still holds love, but it's love that I guess mixed with fury, which is why it's the Red Album.
Right.
And then goes to pitch black when the heart it rots away from everything he loved or
Right.
she loved, and it turns pitch black. So I'm working backwards here.
Okay.
I'm trying to ascend back
Ascend
into
back.
that.
Ooh.
That's the image. So I mean, play away. Oh my
nice.
god, we're not gonna get through this.
No, we're
rodeo.
good. So
That's that
Make sure
image.
to be your last.
Taking off the helmet.
Created me in your image. And now it's time to create
goes back.
Mind remembering. Insanity taking off his coat.
Right. And he's like kind of unlocks like
Revealing his powers. He's the universe inside him.
yeah.
And he's vanishing. Right over here.
Seeing this on my television is crazy.
Oh, it's so
Like how like it's scary.
And this is when he got banished. This is when he realized he was so alone, betrayed. And then this is when he started accepting the fate. So that very moment where you see something unlocked in him. That's the presence of evil inside him that is
escaping
awakens.
Awakens.
So it was dormant, and then that's why I speed ramped that part up, where it was to the point where he was trying to resist it, but then after realizing how betrayed and alone he was, he just something inside him awoke, and that's that very moment. So that's actually one of my favorite scenes, where you see something like a red devil type of thing, and
Right.
just like, and it just looks. I mean, I can't do it right now.
I know. Hey, but you do it on camera. I mean, shoot.
but,
That's
I
what
mean, yeah.
most matters. All right. Should we?
So yes, please do.
Okay, got you.
Because we're not gonna get through it otherwise.
No, you're fine.
That
Okay, that's
and
fine.
I'm going. Transitioning.
Also, the man in the red scene is literally Milo's as well, right?
Mine was
Yeah.
past, so
Yeah. Fire shot. Love it.
flies back up, telling his creator he hasn't forgotten and don't go insane.
That's fire.
And
And when'd you create that? So I didn't see that.
So this was actually a last minute idea with Scott.
Okay.
And Scott.
Yeah, fire idea.
Yeah, again, being the brainiac that he is,
Yeah.
he was like, let's do something with like insane, because I wanted to, again, like that was like this whole story that you just heard, right? But it has to cut back into present state,
Right.
right? Like, so then what's happening now, right? Like what's going on with all these stories and
Right.
and so I had to find a way to tail back into Insanity's creation, which is like another one of his creations, which is this Ian, supposedly meant to be the successor, or the one to stand up to, because that again, Ian is also like a representation of insanity, which is why insane and Ian. So and Mido doesn't have that technically, right? So that's why Ian is insanity. Technically, and I mean it's very. Sorry, it's very like. It's just,
Complicated?
Yeah.
It's a little complicated.
Yeah, going through a lot of.
A lot in his head.
Yeah, and so technically it comes to that. So this is the part that I kind of want people to interpret however they want.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting.
To because maybe, but then again, it's there is wait actually, no, there is a. There is a proper way to
Explain
this better. But again, Ian is at the end of the day. So then we have this Ian, right? We have this Ian that is born.
Okay.
And I guess in this story, it's like it just starts off present day, and we don't know why this guy is running.
Right.
He's running from something. But we have this Ian that's supposedly now meant to be the one to really turn the tides around, to the one to kind of face up to Mido, because technically what Mr. Insanity is trying to do is he's trying to stop this evil force. Mido, he's trying to stop his evil creation. And that's just kind of the whole embodiment of this.
Mm.
And if I was to explain to you further what that really means in the long run, the reason why I have Mido and Mr. Insanity and all that, Mido is meant to represent all my downs.
Okay.
Right? Every time I go manically down, he's there.
Okay.
I turn into him.
Yeah.
And the creation aspect of Mr. Insanity, trying to create all these creations are essentially me,
Right.
real time, trying to create a lot of moments where my downs wouldn't ruin those moments.
I see.
Because for me, a lot of the hardest thing about me is every time I'm enjoying a certain moment in my life, so I'll just magically pivot sometimes.
Okay.
Manically down. Yeah, and I feel like that always taints my moment and my experience. So it's always trying to find a way to create a journey, a story in this case, where it's not going to be tainted by Mido, or in this case my manic downs. So that is the visual representation, and this is just the reality
Right.
aspect of it. That's where I draw my inspiration
Inspiration.
from. If you had to know. So,
Yeah.
and the thing about me is, shit, we're
good?
not
No,
even
no.
watching it.
I know. We're at a minute 39.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, please include this part. So technically, that is why this whole thing started.
Okay.
That's the very important. What do you call it? That is the very important connection that I want to draw for the reason why I'm creating this into such a multiverse.
I see.
You know, Insanity obviously representing me. I go insane all the time. So what better fitting, you know? And it just so happened to be Insanity had Ian in it, which is kind of crazy.
It
Because
is crazy.
That was really.
I thought that was like, oh, that's you already knew about it.
No, actually, that was just crazy how that worked. It's meant to be, you know.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I was like, ah.
So it now goes into present time.
We're just gonna go to one shot.
Yeah, and you see this guy getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And you know, it's like, but then again, like, I mean, what do you expect from all these other stories? Like,
Right.
Blueberry, like you're running away from like blueberry monsters.
No, but they're fire.
He gets kidnapped here. We don't know who kidnaps him, but he does get kidnapped.
That's true.
And it starts off. He gets kidnapped to this, I guess, house or this,
Yeah, or-
or what?
Yeah, house.
Yeah. What do you think? Like he does
House.
get kidnapped to a house. That's a good question.
No, but I'm just saying, is it at the same place he filmed? But
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Oh sorry. I thought you meant.
no, that too. Exactly.
No, it's not the same place that we filmed.
Okay.
But it's meant to be. It's kind of like a mirror. It's kind of like a mirrored world. You know how they have in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where it's meant to represent the same place, but in Mido's eyes, it's like a completely worn down
Okay.
version, but they still collide.
Right.
So he does get kidnapped to this place, and this Ian. One common thing about all these Ians in all these multiverses, key fact, is they all have the same thing going on. Like they all have something that's
Connected?
Yeah, connected in a way.
Oh, interesting.
Because Insanity has a lot of voices. These
Ah.
voices represent his, I guess, different thoughts, different characters inside of him. So essentially, if you're taking an essence off of Insanity, Mido has them too, but we have yet to see what that sounds like, which is going to be quite interesting. But all these, that's why Ian always resorts to medication to
Right.
subside everything.
So that was medication.
So no blueberries.
Yeah.
So Beautiful has them, but we don't see him taking it.
Right.
And again, this Scary Cat 2, but it's you see very brief moments of clips of him doing something with this medication, but this medication.
But in this one, in one shot, you literally physically see you take it.
Yes, and this medication is put there by Mr. Insanity.
I see. Oh, that's why it's sparkling.
Yes, because it's to actually endeavor his. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like if a god gives you with certain items to keep you in check without you even knowing that's like God's.
Like plan. for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. The ring is something to subside that too.
I see.
It's to somehow wear off with Mido. This is that representation, by the way.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
You know, a lot of people ask me.
What about it?
They liked it.
Where'd you get that from?
My stylist made
okay, never
it.
mind.
No, so my stylist actually made this.
Oh.
Yeah, they like it until I tell them it's like a real eye.
It's a real eye?
No, I was like, no, I was like-
Like they use like for like people that don't have eyes?
yeah, like we gouged somebody and we took.
Of course.
No, I was like,
In art, you know,
no,
it's an art
no,
form.
no,
but-
I was playing. No, it's not a real eye, is it? No, it's not. It
I
looks
thought,
very
I thought it would be like one of those mannequin eyes.
Yeah. It's,
Literally.
it's like I think someone made it. Yeah, it's like a prosthetic eye, pretty much. So I guess it's pretty expensive, I heard, but he made it into this iconic image for
Yeah,
Mido.
now it's like the brand.
Yeah, it couldn't be better fitting because, you know, Mido, again, the whole eye thing, it does really come from like an homage to my visual directing. So
I see.
I wanted to have a lot of elements where, for me, like directing, obviously for me, like the best camera in the world, the best lens are these.
Nice, yeah.
As cliche as that sound, but for me, I really do store everything here. So when my world flips, it feels like I'm losing one eye, which is why it's again, it's.
That's why I went Mido.
Mhm.
One line missing.
Yeah, because.
Did you explain that in the first?
No,
few
I
days?
didn't.
Okay.
I didn't explain that to this extent. So I think everything I'm saying here never explained it properly. So I don't know.
Exclusive. I don't know. Look, I'll my editing is gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a 2-hour recording.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. Well, this is only part 1. Let's start this.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
So he's running.
How early was this? Or late?
Late. It was about 8 p.m.
Ah, okay. Nice. Fake thunder?
Yes. Fake skies, everything. There's like a bird that I put in there, but you can't even like tell.
Where was it?
Because YouTube compresses it and you just you
Oh.
can't see the freaking bird. I'm sorry.
Show me.
I'm so like.
No, please.
So like I put like a fake bird.
Oh, wait. No, I don't see it.
I did put a fake bird, but I should. Ready?
Oh, wow.
How realistic is that?
You know what's
So
crazy?
people
We had
don't
this
get it.
whole conversation when we were watching National Geographic. He's like, you know, some of these, you just randomly said, some of these animals are fake. I'm like,
Oh, yeah?
what?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was
Yeah.
like, some of them are CGI.
Yeah,
We're getting
CGI.
that good.
Mhm,
I'm like, no way.
Yep, and that's good. If I could do that, I mean, technically it's nothing, but you know what's so, you know what's so screwed up? It's just for that one bird, I had to like study what it would actually look like in that light.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, in the movement, how fast it would be.
What did you search up? Or you
So yeah, I actually did. I do a lot of these researches actually,
That's good.
especially with thunder too. I've been studying thunder and lightning
Oh, cool.
for a couple of years actually. Just because I wanted to understand the behavior when it sparks when you get the your shutter speed absolutely goes haywire, and then your screen cuts in half, and then you have certain things. So I had to implement a lot of that motion, a lot of that tracking, a lot of the behavior for that. It would be so crazy if none of it's recorded. A lot of the behavior for a lot of things, the movement and all that, just so I can really implement that into a lot of my things. So I like every time it rains, it thunders, and it just goes AWOL, right? I like to go outside in the hopes of not getting shocked. I just like sit there and I film it.
Or do you want that? Like
Oh my goodness! If I could actually turn into something, by getting hit by thunder. Yeah,
Why not?
of course.
Become like Raiden from Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat
yeah.
or Thor.
And then it's like, then I wake up and it's like, you're in heaven, my son.
No!
There was a case when someone got hit by they turned into a genius or something. Have you heard of that?
No.
Oh, okay. Someone got hit by lightning or something, and after a few days, he became like literally like a genius. He started seeing shapes, patterns, and everything. Maybe.
Oh, something sparked the plug. Maybe he's superhuman.
Yeah,
low-key.
yeah,
I mean, it developed him. Does he have any other problems?
I don't know.
Or
Actually.
he has respiratory problems.
Oh no, like just OCD and all that stuff. Like just apparently,
man, too smart.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, speaking of, like, it's just for that one bird, I just
Damn, I was just saying nobody has ever said.
No one,
I don't think
nothing.
that was so tiny though.
yeah, because it's
So bad. Let me
it's
see this bird
so-
again.
It's so natural, but that's what I wanted.
But that's good. Oh, that bug flying was real though.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
real.
What's? I'm not gonna believe anything. That's fine. It's dope. It's dope. I would never suspect that. I was like, oh, that's a bird.
I guess it worked then.
But he did.
Yeah.
He wanted someone to compliment
Yeah.
on it. He's like, it's
Yeah.
not a real bird.
Fun fact, like the falling
Yeah.
scene, I fell into like that very first scene before I transitioned into the dome.
Right.
I fall into a
Cacti?
Yeah, like,
kind of something spiky.
you know what it is? Do you know what that is? It's like it's kind of like I don't know what it is, but they're like little plants and they
Yeah.
have little glass like shards.
Oh yeah, you did
Forms.
tell me about that.
Yeah,
I
and-
still don't know what it is,
Oh
but
my god! And I just fell right into it, and I just put my hands all over it.
yeah.
And I just didn't know what that was, but it was so tiny. It was like microfibers
Yeah.
that just was stuck in my hand, and every time I moved it, you
Oh.
feel like it feels like glass.
cutting.
Yeah, just cutting all your arms, and it just I got that everywhere. So
Jesus.
and that was the beginning of one shot like shoots. So
Okay. Okay.
I had that like during the whole process of this.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Nah,
but you know.
let me see it again. Because I actually didn't know that, so I was like, oh yeah.
That's it.
Bam.
Oh god.
Well, you keep on going though.
We're getting kidnapped.
Was that supposed to be on purpose? In the or I thought somebody was like right there.
Oh, me. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, are you just standing up?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay, okay. Okay,
it's funny.
yeah. Continuity. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted but honestly, yeah, even that too. Like
I thought somebody was there watching you. I was like,
Oh yeah, no, it was meant to be obvious, but
Okay, okay.
I mean, it came out. I guess people just kind of mixed that part, but
Right,
that
right.
part was actually meant to be very deliberate, where it was meant to show me like, you know how when you see like someone getting kidnapped,
Right.
and then you just see them like looking back.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was meant to be that, like, it didn't come out like
because I thought I was like, oh, is that Mr. Insanity actually like?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's Ian getting kidnapped, and he's trying to like look out to see like where he's going.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it happens so.
I mean,
fast.
I didn't notice it before, but
Yeah.
until I just watch it now.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. So me trying to get out. Oh,
Ian. Still has Ian.
Yeah, that's our manager driving the car actually.
Oh, good shit.
Oh my god. So
That's
funny.
not real.
Yeah, well the thing is, because we can't.
Obviously, you just like literally.
I was acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had like John, my manager, my AD,
Mm-mm.
even our stylist actually. Like on the side of this van, just like
Wait.
two people like.
Is it a girl?
Who?
The stylist.
Oh no, he's
Oh,
a guy,
sorry.
junior.
I'm.
But yeah, so got kidnapped. Now, you know, got so many bruises. Broke my thumb
You broke his thumb or jammed it?
Yeah.
All right, now we're here.
at the house. On the dolly, so it's a dolly shot, pretty much.
Is the lighting actually being worked on? Or?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I was gonna say either
Yeah.
post or yeah.
That was so we had everything reworked. This part. You like the hand? So
Love
Jesus,
it.
like that fire part took
I
about.
saw.
Yeah.
I saw the layers. I was like, Jesus. Just for that,
Just
what?
that
3
one-
seconds?
Not even, man. It's like
No, not even like 1.5.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I have a tattoo. Says here, it says
burn.
right here.
Mm.
That's why it starts from my left and I go on fire for a split second and it disappears. That's the
Okay.
reason for that. Pretty crazy, huh? So that burn part took about 4 hours to do. And that, see?
Yeah.
Because I have a burn on my tattoo right here. It starts on my left.
Right.
So, as you
Oh,
can see,
did not notice that the last
yeah,
time.
yeah, that was something I snuck in.
That's fire.
That was interesting too.
I
Like,
did not notice that even in my reaction.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
No, until I saw it right now.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, the thing about this part though is, like people would be asking like, what is this chaos that's going through this guy's head?
Right.
So essentially, what it is in a very story sense.
Right.
So this Ian is particularly, you've seen Constantine, right?
Yeah, I have.
So it's not your ideal, like angelic,
Mhm.
grateful person that has faith, but he has faith. But so technically what this Ian is he's kind of like almost resenting the creator for like choosing him. Like why do
Okay.
I have to like,
What do I have to do with this?
Yeah, why do I have to like be your puppet as well? So in a sense it's very similar to Mitre.
I see.
So this whole scene here is actually obviously what goes in my head chaotically, but just a story representation of it.
Right.
He's kind of like kind of telling the creator like,
Why?
yeah, like
Why
you
me?
know, just almost like even blasphemy, like giving a finger at him almost. You know, just kind of like
Yeah.
stop. You
Yeah,
know, like,
I mean, it's normal to ask
Oh, yeah,
why me
yeah.
to take all this heavy weight on.
so that's
heavy.
this is exactly that whole scene. So
Okay.
you see him, going in and out of these like chaotic worlds. It's kind
Right.
of like it's almost like as if he's Mitre almost in that sense, because it's like the
Already,
red,
like, yeah.
yeah. So you see very similarities to that. When you see the world turning into red,
Right.
that's actually Mitre's world. So he's
I see.
tapping
That makes
into
more
it.
sense. Yeah.
Because in Seraph, if you see that moment when I put the mask on and right before I ascend, you see a glimpse of the red
Yeah.
world. So that red world is what they call the other side.
Okay.
And I'm sure a lot of fans now could speculate a lot of what
Yeah.
that means. No blueberries, welcome to the other side.
Yeah, they'll definitely go looking back on it. That's fire.
Yeah, so the other side is an actual place that I've yet to introduce to this multiverse.
Yeah.
Properly, but it's kind of like my rendition of literally like the flip version of like Mitre's world.
Okay.
So Mitre's world is, if you see, it's just red. It's like, it's like it's just hell. It's
Yeah.
chaotic.
So in if no blueberries and So Beautiful, there was a splash of red anywhere?
No, so that
Okay.
part
That's
I
awesome.
didn't want to
Show yet.
include yet because that part that world wasn't being tapped into.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
but this, yes.
Let's try it. This part you didn't show me, I remember. I'm glad you did.
Who's coming?
Who's coming?
Who's coming?
Let's go acting skills.
Oh goodness, I mean,
So yeah, this part.
so this part was interesting. So now he's not even bothered by the fact that he's kidnapped, but he's more bothered by the fact that he's going through his
Alive.
digging.
Yeah.
He's and then So technically, right here, what we see is
Ah.
he's so this is like again a representation of what I mean in the real world, where sometimes I'll be in like a crazy moment
Right.
where I would have to be focusing on that. For example, if I was being kidnapped,
Yeah.
or if I was like on the brink of like getting an award for something,
Exactly.
or doing an interview, for example, for that matter, and it would just come, like it would just, and then the voices, and all of a sudden I'll just plummet. And honestly, at that point, whatever it is that I'm doing at that very moment, or whatever is happening to me, doesn't become the catalyst. It does not become the priority.
I see.
So it overpowers that. So this is a rendition of what it actually does look like in such a
Artistic.
it's such I guess so. In such a chaotic moment, in such a moment where it doesn't matter to be present, it just overrules it.
Okay.
So that's why the voices are like, you have to get out. And and it's and don't ask me why. It's like it's this British lady, but
Yeah, why not?
but I mean, for me, it was always kind of like that.
I
sound.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it was. I think honestly, I think it really that voice is like, now that I really think about it, it really does come from maybe the sound of my mom. Because my mom has like this Australian and obviously, British accent, more Australian, but for some reason it does sometimes sound British.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I think for me it was like a replicate of what that sounds like. That's kind of what I hear. It's
Okay.
helpful. It's very helpful.
Yeah.
But I kind of always block that out.
Oh.
And then you have like one that sounds like some mouse. But I mean,
Yeah.
don't ask me about that one.
Okay, I won't ask you about that one. Actually, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change batteries and indulging in your medicine, quote unquote?
Oh yes.
Or what is it?
It's medication.
Medication,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's not a big secret to the world where people that have bipolar or some
Right.
type of other disorder, they, a lot of the they have medication
Right.
sometimes. For me, I remember when I first took medication, it like numbed everything. This is kind of like. It's actually meant to kind of be somewhat the opposite. So I kind of want to I wanted to manifest that whatever I'm taking right now isn't drugs, kids, by the way. It's a form of release
I see.
where it does bring you back, but that doesn't mean you're back. I think that's very important.
I mean, it makes you think you're back.
Yeah,
But you're not really.
So I think it certainly numbs a lot of the pain
Right.
internally, but it does not really bring you back, which is why it's very crucial for this when he resorts to it, when he doesn't want to resort to it because he needs to get out of this situation.
I see.
He resorts to it, but everything's in color,
Yeah.
but his face isn't.
I see.
His face is just
So,
like this, like. like
yeah.
I don't know if that's the same, but I mean you get it.
Yeah, I kind of get it. I know what you meant, though.
So
Nothing's clicking up here, but everything else is.
everything's coming
Yeah.
back. But it's what's interesting is so at the peak of this medication, if you were to see the room before when he first entered,
Yeah.
it's not as vibrant.
Okay.
So this is like because of that, the room is all of a sudden this
even more stimulating.
yes, very stimulating, except for him. And then all of a sudden he goes through this array of moods, mood swings.
Yeah.
And with the mood swings, the obviously it's like I like to express that through color.
Right.
And through color, it it kind of it represents how he feels at that very moment. So a lot of shit going on, but it's why it's pretty chaotic.
Okay.
And what's interesting about this part is actually when he goes color in my moods, no blues, your violets on horizon. That voice is actually one of the voices in his head.
Ah.
The voice in the beginning
Right,
that's
right.
kind of like, are we not going to get out of here?
Yeah.
That voice is actually one of the voices that are playing in this.
Interesting. All right. 342. Let's start from here.
Let's
I'll go a
go.
little bit back, but. So it goes into moods.
Everything will be okay.
Nice. Super vibrant.
Doom.
I like that.
Yeah, John's idea.
Nice.
And I was like, wow, how fitting.
Is all that smoke actually CGI or did you hold your breath?
I mixed it. I mixed it.
To make it more.
Yeah, a little bit more vibrant, but no, I was holding my breath.
No, that's
I was.
the only way I could think of it. I even said in my, I was like, you have to be holding your breath.
Yeah.
Didn't add it like up.
Yeah, actually, it was John. You have the vape.
How long did you have to hold it in?
So it was like, okay, cue.
Yeah.
We got the composition. It was like that. It was literally just that. And I just had to. I mean, obviously, it was like a lot more. But then the thing is, we had obviously lighting from up here. So with that, you obviously this becomes way more enhanced. You see like a lot of
A lot more.
Yeah. So that was a lot of holding breath and trying to hold character at the same time. And honestly, that
Good
was
job.
like it was in the moment too.
Yeah.
So a lot of the staff there, they were like just looking at me like, what the heck?
You're just in your element, so it's all
Yeah.
good. Fire. Different moods, right? Love that.
Oh, you like a little contour?
Love that too. No, not that. The eyes,
yeah,
eyes,
oh, yeah.
eyes. But that too.
Oh, you know what's funny actually about that scene is when I do this. Okay, like that. So when I'm doing this,
Right.
it was actually not like part of the script. It
Oh,
was.
so it's like a improv.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
It was like right before we went into the shoot.
oh,
I was
it's just
like, I don't know why though. I don't know why I did that.
it's a different mood too.
Yeah,
Different way to
yeah.
use the color.
And
So-
I've never seen myself do that. So I was like, yeah. But then I was like, just doing this kind of looked weird. It looked like I was like cold or freezing.
Yeah.
So I had to implement the colors of
Oh, you mean like as a raw footage?
yeah,
Without the post. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So it didn't look anything like that, obviously. But I wanted to, yeah. And then after putting all those elements like snowflakes, particles, and then the whole grade,
Right.
It was okay. Like it was like okay, it makes sense now, you know. Because but before that, having that just by itself, it kind of pretty fucking weird.
I mean, it just looks like you're shivering. It's all
Yeah.
good. But yeah, the mood, coloring.
When it's quiet.
What is that you're holding? The compass or a time?
Yep. So that's a shige, Sun shige or a pocket watch.
Pocket watch, okay.
But what what that is for me, it's like a representation of. I always check the time of my dips or when it comes.
Okay.
Not like literally, but for me, it's a good measurement of knowing when I'm going in and when I'm going out of it.
I see.
It's like, oh, it's kind of like time.
Okay,
Almost,
okay.
yeah.
Did you explain that before? Or
No, I've never.
Oh.
It's the first time. I'm explaining. Yeah.
I know. What's that?
Another thing. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You know, you see it all the time. A lot of people in horror films and psycho films and all these films with thrillers and everything, like when people change to werewolves and stuff, what do? They always look at their
Their arms
hands,
first,
or
yeah.
hands to you know, have somewhat of a for it to signal in some type of way. And that's kind of like I feel like it's a universal thing for people. That's when they need to notice that themselves are changing. It's a good representation
Right.
because you know you're not gonna like look at your feet.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Unless you're that guy that
Yeah.
looks at their feet first. You never
Yeah,
know.
and-
But it's like you don't have a mirror, so the thing you see is like this.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you could like sell feet pictures. That's like, I know this is
Sell
a
feet pictures?
I know it's like a totally different topic.
Yeah, that's why people don't show their feet anymore.
That's
Because
crazy.
you can make bank off feet.
So that's what they mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like
You
long
can
time ago.
fund all your projects. You sold feet pictures. Stop.
No, seriously. And I was like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah, I remember like, I had just like I didn't like it's kind of such a weird topic, but I didn't
Yeah,
have
I was like,
my-
why do we?
Yeah, like it was just me like in the mirror, and then you could just see a bit of my feet,
Hmm.
right? And then someone was like, a lot of people were, like asking me why it's for free.
Because now every day, so
It's getting dark, and then
Right.
you hear Maida's voice,
yeah, actually,
so that's when Maida appears. I like the fact that I only used one Korean word in this whole album.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
It's fire.
and that one word is nun, which is I.
Ah.
Very fitting.
Fire.
You want to get that part?
Yeah.
The one, oh man, I don't know if I should say this, but the one thing that
I'll cut it
I
out.
really,
Then.
oh no, I mean it's the one thing that I regret doing.
Ah.
So I don't regret doing this part, but oh, you like that part when it just
Yeah.
colors like. So I needed to do that constantly for 2 more scenes, but I didn't have the time. So those are the 2 scenes that
I see.
didn't have the time to finish. So this scene, I did. So this scene was meant to continue on
Right.
for the next 2 flying scenes. So if you see it, if you keep continuing,
Right.
here. So this is just black and white
Right.
because I couldn't finish the scene. This scene also was meant to be like,
Oh.
but the same
like
color technicals.
Yeah.
So I was
Color
meant to,
technicals.
color technicals. I was meant to
That'd be kind of fire.
and there.
Yeah. How would you? How would it like? You would it would just
Will you do it for me?
No.
This edit? Oh.
no. I don't know if I can.
Oh, shit.
But I did say in my reaction, it low-key reminded me of those Apple screensavers.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Lovely, like, you know
it
how
was.
it's-
It, actually, very interesting. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
something that, again, it's. I love Apple screensavers.
Yeah.
A lot of inspiration also does
Okay,
come from a lot of
okay.
that
That's
thing
fine.
too. But yeah, it was meant to be here, and
So you
and-
wish you had more.
yeah,
it would be fire. It would have been fire.
been so fire up here, but I just fucking.
Well, would you mask out the house so it'll go behind the house? Too?
Yeah. So either that, or I'll track it on the the poles.
Right.
So I kind of wanted the thunder to hit the pole, and then the colors go.
Oh, I see what you mean.
In the background, and then track that. So I mean, I wasn't very limited on time.
Eh.
I tried it on myself when I was doing this, but I kind of figured if I did that, the whole purpose of Mito flying and the expression, I feel like the expression was the most powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would only have to just cater to just additional things to pop off in the background. Just enough till when he comes closer to the camera, then the attention kind of swerves into
Yes.
Mito's face, so yeah, but that part too. Oh yeah.
It's good to see Milo fly more. Because I know it's so beautiful. He did a little,
Yeah.
little something. Oh,
True
show-
form. That's his true
Yeah.
form. So, again, going for the whole archangel thing, this is, yeah, ooh, look at that. So this is actually, we finally get to see Mito's like true form. But again, I didn't want to give it away, so I wanted to still
Super
for it to
flash.
be a silhouette. But I felt like, at least in this part, we fans would want to see his wings.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and for me that was, I was thinking maybe I should make that into like originally like the wings, the wing concept of a seraph, which is a seraphim,
Yeah.
which is 6 wings. So.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I didn't have time.
Didn't have time to do that.
So that was just a rendition of what I could really do
Okay.
at that very moment. I mean, it turned out.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And then descend, running by her. Jesus, this scene, running on the wall. Okay, fun story about this. No, it's not that fun. So this is actually one of the hardest scenes I've ever had to do, and
Stuntman.
yeah, it was, and even for the stunt people, they immediately assumed that I wouldn't be able to do this, just because, not because they didn't believe in me, but because in general, even for like a stunt person, this is extremely hard to do.
Okay.
Technically, what you're doing is like you're on a harness,
Right.
obviously, but it's only supporting your hip in a sense. So your whole upper torso, your
like
core strength,
Crunch. Yeah.
you would have, yeah, because you're kind of, imagine you're being
Yeah, yeah.
slung here on your hip, you're going to be slung down like this. So you have to maintain your
core.
yeah, your core strength, and while running. But on top of that, the reason why this was so hard, it wasn't like a straight flat wall.
Right.
It had like little
little
pockets.
indents. Could have fell through
Yeah, and the on top of that, we had the columns of the house,
Right.
and we weren't allowed to. So the string is like this, right? And you have columns coming out. So the string, I would have to jump the right time,
Right.
so I don't like collide the otherwise the columns would snap,
Oh.
and then we would have to pay for it.
Oh, see.
So
It's not your house.
yeah, and there was about, and you don't know how uneven those columns were where I was meant to land. So it was about like 12 columns like in between while having to maintain that. So that was the so I had about 5 tries, failed all of them, and we were running out of time, and it was either. Woo. Sorry, that was Lori. Anyway, so it was either dedicate your last, I guess, hour or so getting this one shot, or we have to sacrifice our next, like the beginning, a good bunch of our next shot, meaning we won't be able to get what we want for certain parts of the next scene. And that's how stingy it was on time. And I was like, okay, just let me. It was a big decision because for me it was very important. I needed to get this. So I dedicated I was like, okay, let's just fucking do it. And thankfully, the next shot that we did was this one, the one that worked. And I remember I was like,
Finally.
yes, with a big wedgie, you know.
Yeah, it's all like all up in there, I bet.
Mhm.
Okay, finally.
That's crazy.
Fire shot though. Loved it.
Thank you.
Like classic movies that you always see that.
Mhm, like
Crouching
Ninja.
Tiger. Even
Mhm.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh yeah,
That's weird.
that's weird.
I don't hear the voices.
I don't hear the
anymore.
voices anymore.
Not bad.
Foreshadowing. Oh yeah, and that painting. Right?
Yeah. Let's see. Wow.
That's such a beautiful painting.
You can like.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just find this painting or?
So it's done by like an artist, and we obviously we're gonna track down the artist, but it was a place that they sold specifically like what these artists would dedicate to it. I think this artist was dedicating it towards I think certain female portraits with like red in them. And I just thought, wow, like this kind of really spoke out to me just because the concept in general, how her eyes are at this, it's kind of like Maya, where her eyes are just kind of completely covered here. She has a dead expression. And I felt like for me as well, this character actually does exist in this film.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking. I thought this was already a custom of already casted person.
Oh, yeah.
But now you're casting
No.
it based on a painting.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Or I casted it and I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's the same.
Okay, that too.
So that's it. So I mean, that's kind of why this was so crucial.
Right.
You know, foreshadowing. And again, this is like part one, but
Right.
part two
Yeah,
has something like
for
this.
sure.
Yeah. So this was such a beautiful.
It is nice, yeah.
Yeah, just really, it has some type of magic to it for me, and I had to get it immediately.
You just got drawn to it.
And I was like, yeah, we definitely need to add, and obviously the red, you know.
Right. It's
Um,
like powerful actually.
Yeah, pretty big.
Right. Yeah, huge.
We can definitely put it here.
Yeah. I was very curious about that painting too myself. And very vibrant. Did you have obviously you had to do color correction?
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
even more brighter probably in there.
Yes.
Uh,
And interesting. So this is kind of foreshadowing. Also, like, you know, you're about to see like a knife come out, right?
yeah, actually somebody told me I should green screen that. I know I green screened you like that was just like a practice thing. I was like, oh, it's good, so I'll put it out.
Yeah.
But somebody said you should just like do a skit like it's like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
like you brought me to this Airbnb.
Actually, you know,
And I was like, yeah,
actually,
it's like it's Airbnb haunted.
that's pretty. Yeah, that would have been that.
Yeah, so I might. I was gonna work on that before I came here.
Uh-huh.
Just as like, hey, check this out.
That
But
would have been pretty fire, actually.
like right here,
Mhm.
it's perfect for like
Do you see something coming out of her eyes?
a little bit. I don't think I would have noticed that. If
I
you
wanted it to
didn't
be
point
very
I don't
subtle,
hear the voices anymore.
almost as if like, wait, did something come out of it?
blood. Huh.
Just like a little.
That's fire.
Very subtle.
horror.
Mhm. So when he says the voices have stopped,
Right.
it's kind of signaling, oh, like I'm better now.
Yeah, but then yeah, it's your
Something-
worst.
Something comes in and stabs you in the back, and then we see like a brief moment before it gets stabbed. Something. Don't know what that is.
And the voices come back. Probably more intense. Let's go acting.
Pain. Yeah, I remember when I was doing this.
Was there no
They
noise?
were like nothing. Everyone was just like watching, and everyone was just like, you know, just like okay. It's good. Again, we're running so short on time.
right.
And the tricky thing about these wardrobe changes is once you again something with like blood, for example, once it's stained on the wardrobe or the piece of clothing, in this case, it's you have to continue with that. So the continuity of having those shots, then we won't be able to shoot where the wardrobe where there's no blood. Right. So again, this came down to just like really improv of like how we could really get these scenes. And I remember we just got like a singlet. We just needed extra singlet. I was very adamant not to get the blood on the what do you call it? The shirt.
Yeah.
Because I had to again shoot something the very next day without the blood. And I remember they're like action. And I was like, and you know, like I was trying to get the veins popping out.
Yeah.
So then,
Of course.
so
sell it.
yeah. So I was like, for about like 10 minutes, I was just like, and then I had to drop because once the blood was like kind of rushing to it.
Yeah.
But then after looking at it, like I was like, there's no fucking point. Like I really didn't even need to do
You didn't
that.
have to do all that.
So
It
but I
is what
mean,
it is.
yeah. I was very scared as well at this part because I was I know a lot of people would get squirmish with that. Scene.
Yeah.
Did you, how about you?
I used to not like that, but I got numb to it kind of.
Interesting. Why? That's kind of
I
scary.
don't know. I past relationships always liked horror and gore,
Oh,
so
really?
I used to hate it because I was scarred for life at age 5 because I watched The Exorcist
Oh my god.
at 5, and so I hated everything
Oh my
demonic,
God. Yeah.
anything bloody.
Yeah.
And then over time I got used to it,
Oh right.
like
right.
retrained myself to
Oh my
like
god.
it's
Yeah.
not real.
Mm.
Or like kind of like it's a movie because I would get scared, but then afterwards click out
You
like
click out of
it's
it.
fine.
Interesting.
Some people can't, and
Yeah.
I realize that
Yeah.
they stick with them and they believe it fully.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. It's funny that you say that. I'm kind of like that type. As scary and dark as my concepts are, I'm like the biggest like chicken. I'm like biggest scaredy cat. Like I hate the dark.
But yeah, I mean
It's
dark
alright.
can be scary.
Yeah.
I used to hate it too, and then everybody says like that at 3 a.m. is that like demon hours too.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, that used to be a thing. And I like when I was in Hawaii
Yeah.
with New House, me and my mom would like she would be up, but I'll be up too.
So they're here. The voices
Yeah.
are. Oh, shout out to the dancers, by the way.
Yo, it looks like something from like American Horror Story.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually,
way-
yeah, I love that.
Especially, I do want to explain the one shot where it shows. Well, that too. But there's one shot where it just shows someone just crawling out the door.
Oh yeah. So again, fun thing, and it goes into
Fire.
this choreo.
Fire. Happy
Like-
dance in a minute, but
It's just yeah.
people loved it though.
Really?
People, yeah.
Man, I was like, you know, by the time I was like already editing it, it just hit me. I told you this before, but it just hit me that I was picking up dancing again.
Did you learn, or is just like freestyle?
No,
Or
so,
you just low-key learned?
This choreographer like Monica and Hugh, shout out to them. They
Okay,
did
good
such
stuff.
a amazing job. It was like it was something that was kind of like more like kind of last minute. We really sticking to the time limit for that.
Right.
Because it really was like a last minute decision that okay, let's like originally it wasn't dancers. Originally we were meant to get just kind of extras, like people that were just kind of having like wild party.
Right.
You know, if you know like one of my music videos that I've directed a long time ago with Barbies.
Oh, hold up. Yeah.
You remember the scene where Barbie's like
Yeah.
and like just like this chaotic with like people running around throwing stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, there were dances too, but it was just more. It wasn't a choreo, right?
Mhm.
So it was like a
Just-
last minute decision. I kind of when I was making Ribbon, I originally wanted a choreo, but
It seems like a choreo type.
yeah, right. It seems like a like a dance like.
It's like when I first heard it, remind me like with the organ especially remind me of Thriller a little bit.
Oh right, yeah. A lot of Michael Jackson essence.
Also wearing a red. like jacket.
Yeah. It's very timid. It's very strong, and so obviously like, oh god, now we have choreo. It's like,
It's
oh
a
my
lot,
god,
actually.
yeah. But they killed it. First of all, I think, like I don't know how they did it, but they really did put it together. They really did put it together.
Impressive.
In a day.
Oh, wow.
But I had to learn this.
Like
and
in 30.
no, so like I learned the choreo for 4 hours.
Oh, 4 hours, okay.
Yeah, and literally I couldn't really practice it because then I was shooting the next day, like the first scenes. So literally 4 hours to do this, and then just straight into that.
Oh, I see.
So I mean that was it's just obviously it was,
No, it's a lot.
could have been way better on my part.
Oh, for sure. But it definitely surprised a lot of people, including me, because people haven't seen you dance in a minute.
Oh god,
This is just a little, I feel.
oh my god, you don't
Just
know.
did
but-
one body roll. Good
I
job.
was literally just breaking. I was like, I'm not the same anymore.
If you actually implement it, I bet you'll get back to it.
Yeah, I guess I think that's one of
Okay.
the things I want to do. I want to practice it a little bit
Yeah,
more.
little dance classes here
Yeah,
and there.
it'll help. I think,
I think so too.
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you're a
I
good dancer.
I was born
I give it like a little grin, but I'm sure a lot of people missed that part.
Ah, really?
Yeah, there's a very brief moment where I come out when I say I give a little grin and I go back into it.
I see.
So I deliberately try to put that in, but it's like
It's pretty quick.
here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very quick.
Yeah. Shout out to the dancers.
Fire.
Man.
That shot was fire to me.
Oh, that's so good. Like they're so. You know, when I was editing this,
Right.
I couldn't keep my eyes away from the dancers actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They
why-
they they full they made fuller. They made it fuller, like just more impact into your dance. Yeah.
And I mean they were wearing masks, so you couldn't really see their face.
Right.
But the fact that you could still feel their expression and the fact that you could still feel their presence
Right.
through that was like, for me it was so baffling. Like just watching that, and that I was like, wow, yeah, like, damn, like this is what it really means to be like a dancer. You know, I don't consider myself a dancer, so for me, like it's like I don't even have that mask on, but the fact that these guys could pull it off, like in a way where it's just like they already have such a presence. So I mean, that's the one thing that I was like just constantly surprised about every single one of them. You know.
Yeah, true.
Can't think
No,
of this.
that's why. That's one of my favorite scenes. That's why I did a little green screen. Just
I know that's probably well.
I want to do the spin too, but yeah, spin was fire. By the way.
Oh, there you go. A lot of speed running there.
Yeah. Let's go. The robot right here. Love that. Hey. How long was this shot actually?
Just like 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire.
You
Actually.
know, we wrapped this up in 3 hours.
Here we go. I love that shot. It's so, I don't know if it's just.
So, technically, this whole corridor of all these red minions still trying to chase him.
Right.
We have Insanity closing the box, Mido, blood on his hands.
Right.
Signifying that he did stab him. And then he opened the door,
Right.
and he's like, I can't do the expression, but he's.
It was just in the time, don't worry.
It's always in the moment, but he opens the door and he sees something.
Right. Who is it?
But
We'll find out.
But we don't know what he sees.
Yeah.
We don't know why he's so shocked.
Quite interesting.
And yeah, so this whole story, this whole thing is Mido trying to yet again infest this Ian. So up to that point, we understand that he got kidnapped. Don't know who kidnapped him, but he's now in this house, this crazy house.
Correct.
There's these voices that are trying to help him, but he's trying to numb it at the same time.
I see.
But because the voices are aware that something's coming, obviously that something being Mido, yet again to come and infect this Ian and take over his story. So up to this point, we know that from what we see through that stab, for that blood, Mido infested him. So that's kind of. But then he comes out of it, like he just snaps out of it, and he starts running away, I assume.
Yeah.
Opens the door, but then sees something, and it cuts.
One of my favorite scenes, and I don't know, it's just me, is the little red eyes in the background. I love that. I don't know why.
You know what they actually are?
The minions?
Oh yeah, they are the minions, but what I actually use for the red eyes.
Oh, what is it?
They're actually tigers. You know.
Like just tigers?
Yeah, just tigers.
You use like a video stock footage of
tigers that are like have the movement. I like the placement of their eyes, and they're blinking.
Right.
So obviously just reddit it and then just completely. Man, I don't know if we could actually see it actually.
What, the tiger itself, or? I don't think so.
Alright, good.
I thought I saw it for a second.
Yeah, so that was actually the one thing that I kind of wanted. I just loved the way that they moved. It kind of felt a little bit more.
Yeah, I really
like
enjoyed
spirits.
it. That's like another favorite scene I liked, actually.
I remember when particularly that one part with the orchestral rise. That score was like, it did confuse Cream a lot because I was like, because I just, you know, it was like this groovy ass, you know, funky ass beat, something that MJ or Prince would do, and then you just have these organs and you know these strings coming and horns, and it just turned really sinister really fast. But I wanted that so much, and I kind of wanted to continue with that. But then a lot of it was funny was I don't know if it was you, but someone was like, for me like it kind of that drop was like so sinister.
Yeah.
But to somebody else it sounded like something that would come out like a long time ago in like You Got Served or. Like,
It was me.
yeah.
It was me.
Oh yeah, you got served.
Because it reminded me of
everyone was
that.
like dancing like this.
It seems like that type of dance beat that could.
Yeah, but you're right because back then, like a lot of hip hop beats, they used horns, like used
like
brass.
Timbaland for instance.
Yeah, exactly. It was such a thing, and I think without me knowing, I was like influenced by that too. So that was like a really good call, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, like we're kind of like the same.
About talking with you, because you know when I let you listen to my tracks. By the way, like you know, I ran it with him before we dropped it, right?
Right.
And it was so cool that you picked up on a lot of the influences that I've had, which obviously really did stem from our generation, right? Like it was. Like obviously I had a lot of like JT elements and you know a lot of the pop that comes with that.
In that era too.
Yeah, so I mean you know it was such a, I think for us too, like you know it was such a, I don't know, it was such a era for us. It was such
it's still nostalgic and it's going back.
What do you think this is? I didn't mean to ask you, but I mean yeah. So in this scene, misunderstood. Oh my god. John, did you put the misunderstood subtitles there? I did. Oh fuck! Nice one. And no wonder people know what it is.
Oh, I thought you did it. Okay.
No. So yeah. So what this is he's holding open
Holding closed or open?
which is well that's a question now.
That is the question.
That is a question. Is he holding it open or is he trying to close it?
Oh, is he trying to like open it or
is he trying to close it? So
okay.
So that's the question that we have to ask ourselves.
And wait till part 2, I guess.
Yeah, and this is quite an interesting
Scene 2.
I'll be really surprised if people got this very moment. Actually, I'll be very surprised.
I don't think you actually told me. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
well, it's yeah. You saw a bit of part 2 actually.
A little bit.
But yes, this is a moment where, again, I think people, but judging by like my fans, they're really smart. Like they're just so intuitive. And man, one really big thing that I really adore about, I guess my fans and my listeners, is that man, they are just so like smart. Like they're just so like
they figure it out.
Yeah, and they feel a lot. They kind of are on.
They
the same,
understood.
They understand it.
Like when it first came out, I saw some of the comments. I don't know if you already.
But when I tell you that every single one of them opened up with like it saved their lives. Like it saved them. You know, I mean, it was just like
That's
it was
good.
really flattering. But
Yeah.
it was
But
just
you don't expect.
no, you know what I mean? Because yeah, a lot of times I am like very. Like sitting here, you saw me, like sitting here, not going out for 3 weeks, not knowing what the world looks like.
Yeah.
You know, like it makes you wonder sometimes if, you know, if this will ever even do anything.
Right,
You know,
right.
like if this will.
Yeah, but people do need this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, get throughout the day. I mean, it is a 7.
I guess I just want to really give something for people to kind of look forward to, but
Right,
also
right.
have it act as a release for them. You know, like if I could do that, then honestly, yeah, I could go through hell doing this over and over again.
No, yeah, the whole room is just like.
It's just like, oh my eyes.
Especially during the dance.
Let me see this shit. No pressure. Damn.
like you said, your fans are, but
Yeah. I'm very proud. I'm very prideful of my fans. I really am because I feel like we're a different breed.
yeah, no, definitely.
We're a different breed.
You know what? It's respectable to be honest. Like
Yeah.
someone asked, her name, his name, Chick Geek Slay Queen.
Yeah, I love that name.
Favorite song he has written.
That's a very good question.
That's like choosing a baby. On the album.
On this album.
Yes. Or even the past.
I think okay.
That's been released.
Yeah. I think
Just
that's a
the
good question.
releases.
I think the one that I think I really could I say like moments?
Yeah.
So for me, I guess No Silhouette was one that
That's
I
what
was
like
that moment for me was like really enticing when I made that. So that certain parts it just clicks for me with those songs. Obviously with this album, Seraph was just I was like in that state, it couldn't have come out any other way. Like it literally felt like I was burning my wings. So that's why that song was actually something that really hit heights with me.
Okay.
And then the moment in Winterfall where the end where it just drops and it goes misunderstood the last part. I guess all these moments is when I dip. That's why it changes.
Yeah.
Because I'll be making that song in the beginning like, oh yeah, walking in the
Yeah, but
outfit.
that's interesting because I even said when you first showed me, I was like, I can't predict some things. Sometimes you can predict. I could predict. I've been listening to enough. I'm not a music genius or anything, but
No, you're good.
after listening, after a while,
You're good.
I can predict like, oh, this is supposed to happen.
Oh yeah.
Or that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, you're very intuitive too.
But yeah, even I sometimes I predicted, but I was like, oh, that's a different change. So, like slight changes.
yeah,
Now, like depending on your mood.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens, and I can't help it. Like I really can't help when that happens. It just flips, and so I can't just dog this song. I have to I have to continue it. But now I'm continuing it in like a different brain.
Yeah,
so
same.
think of it like as if like one person was working on this song, that person had to go away, and a different person had to continue making the song in his interpretation.
Interesting.
And that's exactly what it is. But it all stems from just how I feel.
Yeah,
Authentic.
of course.
Really, yeah.
Wait, what was your favorite song that you read? What was?
So No Silhouette.
No Silhouette, yeah.
And then moments in Seraph, and then I'm like Winterfall and Misunderstood. I like all of them, but I mean, just those moments really just kind of hit me.
Because to me, like it depends on like written is like there's the lyrics affect you. Or that sometimes in rhythm, like I mean, some lyrics will affect, but like it's just that beat that with that lyric will make it enhance it.
Some are for the punigi.
Yeah.
Some are for the
What is that?
some. Sorry, you answered like just like that. It's like some are for like the puni. Some is which is the atmosphere, the mood of it.
Okay.
And some are for like the lyrics. For example, Nerves was something that I probably would never be able to write again lyrically, just because it was so like the shit that I was going through at that time was just so heavy.
Right.
I'm not saying it's like specifically that period of time that it happened, but I like to bring back certain memories. For me, it's really as fresh as it was yesterday, because I like, when people have photographic memories. For me, it's like I have emotional graphic memories where I could just bring that back, feel it again.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like.
I feel like a lot of people can relate with that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I guess, and the harder it hits, the easier it is for you to kind of bring it back. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Musical influences. I'm pretty sure people ask you that so many times, but
No, actually, you're surprisingly not.
because, for example, Sierra830 said, for example, I know he was into metal at one point.
Very good point.